Maybe I should. Greetings, everyone. I'm just trying to adjust the video here. Let's just try this. That's also very bright. Okay, let's go back to this. Closer. And focus distance lighting. Exposure. Okay, that's better. It's tricky because of bright light coming in. All right, anyway, good. I hope you can hear me. Maybe I should turn this. Oops. Okay. So, greetings, everyone, to Saturday Sanga. Greetings from Poland. And apologies for confusion about the time. I just saw some of you joined an hour ago. Yeah, there's been a time change. It happens every year. But here we are, those of you who have joined. Tirtharaj, what's happening in Valencia? Flooding, I see, is happening in Valencia.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Haribol.
My obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, there is flooding, rather big flooding. We are not directly affected, fortunately. It's in the south of the city. The city itself is not flooded, but all the towns in the southern part are quite flooded. And it's a bit strange because in all the northern part, it's life as usual. And then some 20 minutes drive down to the south, it's basically like hellish. It's,
climate change.
Yeah. And funny thing is that the local government is one of those deniers of climate change. And of course, they did literally nothing when it was time to sound the alarm. So there you go.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, all the best for everyone in Valencia and environs.
Thank you.
Let me just change this. Move there. Okay. Let's chant some mantras. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamahyam Dadhati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttaparakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatang Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanditangscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatari Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Saturday Sanga Sangis Ki Jai. So here we are continuing in the month of Kartik, and today is the day of Govardhana Puja. And yesterday was Diwali or Deepavali. And so these are festive days especially in Braj and especially at Govardhan. So we can mentally put ourselves in Govardhan today. And we can visit Narottama Thakur's Prarthana for one of his songs, another short song in which he's anticipating being in Vrindavan with Radha and Krsna. First, reviewing last week's song briefly. The sight of the lotus feet of the divine couple will be the crowning success of my eyes. That's an interesting expression, success of the eyes. We don't usually think of eyes being successful or not successful. It reminds me that there's a verse in the Bhagavatam. Which chapter is it? Around 10th canto, around chapter 45, when Krishna is leaving Vrindavan, or seeming Vrindavan. And of course, the gopis are completely distraught. They're completely overwhelmed with just the thought of Krishna departing. And they say, what is the use of, there's no more use for our eyes Um, there's nothing to look at. There's nothing to look at. If Krishna is not here, what's to look at? They're feeling like that. So the sight of the lotus feet of the divine couple will be the crowning success of my eyes. My heart and mind yearn, and they are longing to attain this sight. O Lord, please be merciful and grant this sight to me. So this is a nice expression of what is darshana about. Sometimes we understand lotus feet in, you could say, a kind of more literal way. Krishna is a person and he has a body which is Satchit Ananda, eternal, full of knowledge or consciousness and full of bliss. And at the same time, we see him with a face and two arms and legs and feet and so on. And these feet are compared to lotuses. But we also understand lotus feet as the place to which devotees offer their service. We serve the lotus feet of the Lord. The idea being we don't just, stand and meet Krishna sort of and shake his hand, but we're down at the feet in the humble position. But in this first line, it's saying he wants to see those feet. I just want to see those feet. Just let me see the feet. So if we take it then in the metaphorical way, I want to see service. We might want to take it that way. And then he says, please grant me the service of your lotus feet. Do not neglect me. For you, my two lords, are like two oceans filled with compassion. So it's an interesting image. Oceans of compassion. Oceans are very big, they're deep, they're without end. One ocean is already very big, but two oceans. Radha and Krishna together, like two oceans of compassion. Karuna Sagar. I know that you are full of all transcendental glory and opulence, and I do not know anyone except you. This reminds me of the Sanskrit term mamata. So we know the word mama, meaning mine, and we know the expression aham mameti, which is just aham mama iti, where the iti means quotation marks. I say aham mama, which means I and mine. So that sort of encapsulates what is material consciousness, material orientation, thinking I. And the word mamata, with a long A, T-A, mamata, makes it into an abstract noun. It could also be mamatva, but I don't know, there's probably some rule why it's mamata. And so this gives the idea of possessiveness, having a sense of this is mine. And that can be applied in two different ways. One is material, a sense of possessiveness, but it's also applied to a devotee's feeling about Krishna, feeling about the Lord, that the Lord is mine. One becomes possessive of the Lord. So I was reminded of that by this. I do not know anyone except you. Let's see. Duhumbina nahi jano. Yeah. Then, I do not know anyone except you. I am very fallen and sinful. Please be merciful to me. Third verse, by your mercy. By your mercy, I will attain the association of the gopis. Well, that's also interesting because we usually hear that it should kind of be the other way around. I approach, through from down going up. So we approach the associates of Krishna in order to be able to associate Krishna. But it seems like here it's the other way around. By your mercy, by the Lord's mercy, or Radha and Krishna's mercy, I can attain the association of the gopis. By your mercy, I will become Lalita's maidservant, to be ordered about by her. By your mercy, I will attain the service of your lotus feet. I know that you are both the crest jewels among all wealthy philanthropists, and you know that I'm the poorest of the poor. Please, therefore, give me the charity of your lotus feet. So he makes this contrast. You're the most wealthy, I am the poorest. So he's coming as a beggar. And finally, by your mercy, I will attain your lotus feet. So first he wants to see the lotus feet, then he wants service to the lotus feet, then he's looking for association of the gopis through the mercy of Krishna. Then he's simply wanting then he wants the charity of the lotus feet. Nikate charana divedani. So the lotus feet are compared to treasures. And then finally, by your mercy, I will attain your lotus feet. By your mercy, all the painful wounds in my mind and heart will heal. And that's interesting. How to say, the experience, we have all been wounded one way or another. Physically, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, in so many ways. Just going through life means being wounded. So he says, by your mercy, all the painful wounds in my heart, we might want to say all the traumas that I've been through, they will heal. Yeah, that was this interesting. Pabo Radha Krishna Pa Guchibo Moner Ga Dure Jabe Eshab Bipal. By your mercy, my lack of success will go far away, my bipal. Narottama says, by your mercy, all my desires will be fulfilled, and this body and life will at last become fruitful. Okay, that was last week's song. So it's all about mercy. Karuna Sagar, from the lords, the two lords, who are oceans of mercy. Okay. Then today we have Sri Krishna Vijnaptih, song number 2, from Prarthana, from Narottama Thakur. And it says, oops, I just lost it. Sometimes funny things happen when you are working with two screens. Oh, too many things open. That's the problem. Okay, let's go back here. Okay. Funny. Aji Rase Badara Niche. Preme bhāsalo ndāvana vāsī. That first line is very short. Soon, all the residents of Vrindavan will float in the nectar of pure love for Radha and Krishna. Aji, well, I think Aj means today. Aji maybe means very soon. Rase Badara Niche. So I looked up Bada, and it means rain, shower. So a shower of rasa, or in a shower of rasa, maybe. Niche, I think means down, coming down. Preme bhāsalo Vrindavana vāsī. So all of the Vrindavan vāsīs, Vrindavan vāsī, bhāsalo prema. Now, I would think bhāsalo is past tense, but maybe it's not. So floating is bhāsalo. What are they floating in? They're floating in prema. So preme, bhāsalo Vrindavana vāsī. Okay, śyāma gana varikhaye prema sudhā dhāra kore rańgin rādhā vijurī sañcāra. Sri Krishna is like a dark cloud, śyāma gana. Gana is a cloud. Gana, I think it can also mean dense, thick, like a cloud. Krishna is like a dark cloud that showers the nectar of pure love. Prema sudhā. Sudhā means nectar. And varikhaye, I don't know about this. Maybe it's kshaye in Sanskrit. Rishaye, maybe raining, showering. And Srimati Radharani is like a restless lightning flash sitting in the lap of that cloud. Kore rańgini rādhā vijurī sañcāra. Vijurī, I'm guessing, means lightning, because in modern Hindi, electricity is bijali. Bijali. So this looks similar. And a restless lightning flash. Sañcāra, maybe, I'm just guessing, so it's not worth much. Sañcāra may be restless. Rańgini. Rańgini refers to Radha. No, rańgini is, well, an enjoyer, but someone could be on a stage. Ranga. Okay. Sorry about this. Not knowing. Preme pichalo patha gamana bhelo panka. Mrigamada chandana kumkume bhelo panka. The path of love for Krishna is winding and crooked. It is slippery and filled with mud and mixed with kumkuma, sandalwood paste, and musk. Okay, so patha is, of course, the path. What kind of path? It's the path of prema. Going on this path, gamana, there will be. Bhelo, I looked it up, it means happens, something like that. It's old-fashioned Bengali, apparently. And pichalo means slippery. And banka, of course, means crooked. Therefore, one of Krishna's names is Banka or Banke Bihari. And there's a deity of Banke Bihari in Vrindavan, very popular deity who appears and disappears and appears and disappears. Opening and closing of the curtain by the pujaris, closing frequently because they don't want him to run away. Banke Bihari has a bad reputation for running out of the temple. Mrigamada Chandana, so Mrigamada, that which makes the mriga, the deer, mad, which is what musk is. Musk comes from the deer and it makes the deer mad. Chandana, of course, is sandalwood or sandalwood paste. Kumkume bhelo panka. Panka means mud. So, okay, it's describing a pathway, a muddy path, and on this path there is musk and chandan and kumkuma, and all of this is slippery, and the pathway is crooked. And what is the path? It's the path of love. So that sounds like it's dangerous. Okay, verse 4. Vidig nahi premera patar Dubilo Narottama najane santar. The great ocean of love of Krishna stretches without limit in all directions. Dig vidig. Nahi premera patar. Well, dig vidig means in all directions. Patar, yeah. Of prema, there is not. Patar, I guess, is a limit. And dubilo would mean, I guess, sunk inside. So Narottama is sunk, dubilo, in this ocean. So he's changing the analogy from a path to an ocean. And he's diving into the ocean, but na jane santar, I don't know how to swim. I don't know how to go across. So that's an interesting little song, which I guess we could try to sing. Let's see how it goes. And first we will turn musician music on. Okay. Aji rase badhe niche, aji rase badara niche, prema bhāsalo shaba vrindavan vāsī, preme bhāsalo shab vrindavana vāsī, śyāma gana varikhaye prema sudhā, śyāma gana varikhaye prema sudhā, kore rańgini rādhā vijurī sañcāra, kore rańgini rādhā vijurī sañcāra, preme pichalo patha gamana bhelo banka, preme pichalo patha gamana bhelo banka, mrigamada chandana kunkume bhelo banka, mrigamada chandan kunkume bhelo banka, dig vidiga nahi premera patha, dig vidiga nahi premera patha, dubilo Narottama najane santar, dubilo Narottama najane santar. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Jaya Radha, Damodara, Radha, Damodara, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha, Damodara, Radha, Damodara, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha, Madana Mohan, Radha, Madan Mohan, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha, Radha, Madan Mohan, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha, Govinda Radha, Govinda Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha, Govinda Radha, Govinda Shri Radhe. Okay. Narottama Thakura. One would like to meet him and see what did this mood look like when he was composing this song, and just how was he singing it. Narottama Das is known for his new style of music, of kirtan. It's said that he was empowered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to introduce this special style of kirtan. Okay, I want to now open. I don't know if we'll find it. Where? Oh, okay, try this way. Thank you for your patience. I'm just getting our Narottama Vilasa up so I can read it. Scrolling. We're getting there. Okay. So you may remember one moment. Okay. There we are. I hope you can see that. Okay, Narottama Das Thakur is in Puri and he's sleeping, or he's not sleeping. He's very much awake. We might want to say he's more awake than any of us. He's having this vision, and it's a vision of Ratha Yatra. And in the vision, he's seeing all of these devotees who have been listed here. We won't go through the list again. The demigods are showering flowers. Even the lame, the blind, and the deaf suddenly forgot their handicaps and dashed forward to join in the Sankirtan. That's an interesting way of putting it. Someone who has some physical handicap, we generally understand it's a real handicap, and if someone is blind, they're blind. But here it's suggesting that they were thinking they were blind, they're thinking they're deaf, they're thinking they are lame, but now they've forgotten that they're lame, blind, and deaf. So they just run and join in the Sankirtan. Even stone-hearted persons wept in joy upon hearing the melodious chanting. Even the animals and birds became restless. Okay, this is where we ended. So Narottama is watching all of this. It says, standing in a corner. And then Mahaprabhu sees Narottama. So now this is getting interesting because he's not outside the scene. He's in the scene. Mahaprabhu sees him. And he grabs Narottama's hand and he says, you must manifest a new type of kirtan which will have the potency to mesmerize the people. So this is the moment when he gets this order from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Through your songs and music, you should explain my pastimes and mission. Don't worry about anything. All your desires will be fulfilled. Now, go to Gauda as soon as possible and preach the glories of devotional service. Those who are fortunate enough to take shelter in you will receive the most precious wealth of love of God. Soon you will link up with Ramachandra, son of Chiranjeev Sena. What else can I say? I shall always take care of you. So Narottama has gone all the way from Gauda to Puri by foot. I believe it's 300 kilometers or miles. It's quite a distance. I don't know how many days it would take to walk. It takes quite some time, but he gets there and he meets the devotees and he has darshan of Lord Jagannath, and he meets Haridas Thakur and he has darshan of, I'm not saying in the right order, but he has darshan of Tota Gopinath, and he meets Mamu Thakur and Gopinath Acharya. And finally he rests, they let him rest. And then he has this dream or vision, and in the vision, Mahaprabhu gives this order, now go back to Gauda, go back go back to Bengal. So that's interesting. And then Narahari Sharakard, writing this, says, all the devotees of the Lord were extremely happy to see Lord Chaitanya shower his mercy so profusely, so much upon Narottama. Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhar, Haridas, Sarvabhauma, Ramananda Rai, Srivas, Vakreshwara, and others embraced Narottama tightly. Narottama fell on the ground in a pool of tears. Mahaprabhu's devotees consoled Narottama and advised him to go to Gauda. You'd kind of think that, okay, so this was all still in the vision. Oh, but now he wakes up and he has a heavy heart. Why is his heart heavy? My guess is because he's been asked to leave Puri, where he's just met all these wonderful devotees. Somehow he manages to calm himself. And heartily finished his morning duties. Then Gopinath Acharya sent him with Shiki Mahiti to Sri Jagannath Dev's Arati. So he's there, he's in the temple, the Arati is going on, and Narottama is thinking about now I'm supposed to go back to Gauda. What happens? Lord Jagannath's garland falls from his neck, and the priest gives the garland to Narottama. So this became a confirmation. He offers obeisance. He goes to the house of Gopinath Acharya. Gopinath says, the Lord has ordered you to go to Gauda. Now one might think, but how does he know that? He was not in the vision, or was he? Is his name listed here amongst those? I don't see his name here. Oh, Acharya Gopinath, that might be Gopinath. Yeah, probably is. Okay, so he's in the vision as well. So Gopinath Acharya also heard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the vision of Narottama, telling Narottama he should go to Gauda. So now he's saying, you have to go to Gauda, to Bengal. Then he consults with the Mahantas. The Mahant is, well, in general, you could say a senior devotee. Nowadays, typically a Mahant is a leader of a temple, like I would say more than a temple president. But yeah, sort of the acharya of the particular Sanga. So he consults with the Mahants of Sri Kshetra, which means Puri. A date was fixed for Narottama's departure. So he's been told to leave right away, but right away doesn't have to mean one needs to have an auspicious day to leave. And so perhaps some astrologers were consulted. And then when Narottama was about to leave, the devotees held his hands and said happily, "We eagerly waited to meet you for so long. Now," that's a misspelling, "now our dreams have finally been fulfilled." Huh. So they're satisfied. They've met him. They didn't meet him for very long, but somehow that's okay. Now they want to also meet Srinivasacharya and Shyamananda, who was also known as Dukhi Krishnadas. And then they began to weep. Hearing their loving words, Narottama was also moved to tears. Narottama did not go alone. He had an escort, someone to go with him. Who had a basket of Mahaprasadam. So he leaves Puri, he goes to Narendra Lake. And there he meets the same Brahmin and his son whom he had met when he was coming into Kshetra to Puri. And they meet, and Narottama respects him, touches his feet. "Oh, Narottama, you are more dear to me than my life. I knew that you would be passing by today on your way to Gauda. So I finished my duties as quickly as possible. Now, by the mercy of Jagannath Dev, you've come. If I would have missed you, I would have burned in the fire of my own sorrow." So all of these meetings and partings with lots of emotion, tears, and he blesses Narottama. He wanted to go with Narottama, but Narottama says, "No, not possible." And then he walks swiftly. And he stayed at Jajipur. Here it's Jajapur. Yajapur. Then to Nrsinghapur. I don't know. Someone spotted him. Someone saw him. Came forward, informed Shyamananda that Sri Thakur Mahashoy was coming from Kshetra. So Sri Thakur Mahashoy, of course, refers to Narottama. He was sometimes called this, Thakur Mahashoy. Shyamananda was overwhelmed with ecstasy. So then they go to meet Thakur Mahashoy, more being overwhelmed with emotions, more weeping. They bow to each other continuously. Narottama holds Shyamananda tightly to his bosom, to his heart, and would not be separated from him. Okay. So like this, Narottama is on the road again, but he's meeting his friends. Srila Narottam Das Thakur ki jai. Okay. Welcome everyone who have joined later to Saturday Sanga. We have a smaller group today. That's okay. As they say in Germany, klein aber fein. Okay, let's see. Oh, I should maybe do this. Ah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, anyone have any news, show and tell, some exciting things happening like flooding in Valencia? Everyone is being very quiet today. Last week we had Gopinathacharya Prabhu with us. I think most of you were with us. Anyone want to share any thoughts about something that any of the points that he made? I know that was a week ago. One interesting thing I found was he mentioned the tradition of education, that one would have started out in Sanskrit learning, one would have started out with Sanskrit grammar, vyakarana. And after Sanskrit grammar, then one would start learning nyaya, or logic, reasoning, and debate. And does anyone remember what the next thing was one would learn? No? Next thing would be mimamsa. Why mimamsa? Well, mimamsa is about interpretation. It's the one of the what became identified as 6 orthodox darshans. Purva Mimamsa is sometimes said. Why? Because there's also Uttara Mimamsa, which is another word for Vedanta. Purva Mimamsa is about interpretation, how to interpret the Veda. It's about, well, first of all, acknowledging the authority of Veda, and then it's about understanding what it says. Because the essential teaching of Veda, according to Mimamsa, is one should perform sacrifice. Right, okay, how to perform sacrifice? Well, so many instructions are there, but they can be difficult to understand. So Mimamsa is very much about interpreting. So it starts out with grammar, because without grammar, how can you understand anything? And then nyaya, logic, is how to reason with what you read. And then mimamsa is how to, again, understand what to do. And then he said after that, then one might study Sanskrit poetry and drama, aesthetics. So the point he was making is that this pundit, that was another point. He said the tradition that this was Keshava Kashmiri is a later tradition. It makes me want to go back and read all of these verses. I guess it's in the purports that it's mentioned that it's Keshava Kashmiri. Otherwise, it's some famous pundit. But in the verses, we read how surprised he was that Nimai Pandit was so knowledgeable about Sanskrit poetry. Why? Because he was just a grammarian. He was one who has just studied grammar. That was the perspective that he had. Yeah. Okay. Then, since today is Govardhana Puja Day, I think it's time for Surdas to tell us about Govardhana. Rashi lehu Gokul ke Nayaka Bijatagad Bijatagai Gvala Arugosuta. Hero of the cow clan, come and protect us. The cows, the calves, the cowherds drip with rain. Bijatagai Gvala Arugosuta. Okay, Gvala, of course, means the cowherds, and Gai is the cows, and Gosuta means the calves, the sons and daughters, you could say, of the go. So Rashi Lehulo Gokul Ke Nayaka. The Nayaka. So a Nayaka is a dramatic hero in a drama. So it's saying here that the residents of Gokul are calling out to Krishna. Gokul Ke Nayaka. Rashi Lehu, give us protection. Dusa Bund Lagat Janu Sayak. Barashata Musala Dar Sena Pati. Drenching rains. Raindrops sting like arrows. That Indra's thundercloud commander unleashes. Let's see if we can figure any of this out. Dusha Bund Lagat Janu Sayak. Varashata Musaldhar Senapati. He means commander. Well, okay, that's about it. Maha Meg Magava Ke Payak Tum Bin Aso Kaun Nand Suto. Okay, that's part of the previous sentence. So let me read again. Raindrops sting like arrows that Indra's thundercloud commander unleashes in pestle torrents of battering battalions. Okay, a pestle is when you grind spices, you have a mortar, that's the bowl, and a pestle, that's what you grind with. And a torrent is a very heavy shower. So, so these thunderclouds are letting loose the rain in showers which are like so many heavy pestles. They're pounding. Battering battalion. A battalion is a division of soldiers. So there's they're being pounded like this. Next line. These unbearable torments. Who, O son of Nanda, could vanquish them but you? Tum bin aisho kon nand sutta e dusa metibe layak. I think that's what that is. Okay, then you, O Krishna, you tamed the great snake. Ag Mardan tore open the heron's face. Buk Badan Bidaran destroyed that heron woman also. Baki Binasan Sub Sushadayak. Sushadayak. You destroyed the heron woman too, spreading happiness. Dushadayak. Sushadayak. How, says Sura, could anyone fear anything? Anyone who has at hand a helper, such as you. Surdas tin kau ka kau daru jin ketum se shada sahayak. Okay, sahayak is a helper. And surdas tin kau kakao daru. I don't know. Anyway, Braj Bhasha is, it's a dialect of Hindi. There are, I believe, I forget, 14 or 18 different main dialects of Hindi. And so there's a lot here one could learn. Jinke tum se shada sahayak. So anyone who has a helping hand like you, in other words, you meaning Krishna, who's going to be afraid if one has the helping hand of you? It says such as you, but I think it means you. So it's I don't know if the word hand is in the Braj Bhasha, but in the translation he uses the word hand, which makes sense in the context of what's happening, because the residents of Braj are being smashed by the clouds of Indra, and they're calling Krishna for help. And what is the help that Krishna gives? He lifts, with his hand, he lifts Govardhana and makes an umbrella out of it. Yeah, I was hearing a talk by Indradhyumna Swami yesterday. He's telling some of the details that are there about the pastime Govardhana Lila from Garga Samhita and Gopal Champu and so on. And he mentions that Krishna, everyone ran to Govardhan Hill. They called Krishna for help. Krishna was there. And Krishna, while the rain is pouring down, he's thinking what to do. And then he discusses with his friends what to do. And he proposes to his friends that he will make Govardhan into an umbrella. And his friends say, "How, you can't do that. How are you going to do that?" And Krishna apparently says, I can do it. And they don't believe him. And then Krishna takes two big tree trunks. I don't know if he uproots, but he takes two trunks of trees and he twists them. He makes like a braid with these two trees, just with his hands. And in effect, he says to his friends, "Look what I can do." And then they're convinced, "Oh, okay, I guess, yes, you are strong, aren't you?" And that's when Krishna goes to the south end of Govardhan, which is the end where there's this temple of Nrsingadev, and where there's also this small temple of Nrsinga, and there's very close to that, there's this big temple of Krishna, of what do I want to say? Krishna lifting Govardhan, Nataji Krishna, worshipped by the Vallabha Sampradaya. He goes to that south end and he, I think Maharaj said he enters, there's a cave at that end, and he enters into the cave. And then he lifts. Right. Well, since it's Govardhan Lila Day, I think what we want to do is hear from you. What is your, about this Lila, what is your favorite aspect? What is it about this Lila or some aspect of Govardhan Lila that you like? Esther. Bhaktin Esther.
Yes, thank you. I like the part where they're all very happy and satisfied that they could continually look at Krishna non-stop for 7 days and nights.
Mm-hmm. Why do you find that particular thing to note?
I think it was mentioned because they already had this desire, because they were always the separation when Krishna would go to the fields and they would not see him whole day, and somehow they always, those who were staying there in Vrindavan, they were thinking how lucky those who are there with Krishna. they can see him all the time. And then this was the occasion when their desires got fulfilled.
So can you imagine yourself in that group?
Yeah, it would be nice. Yes, for one day.
For one day. Not for 7 days, just one day.
And then, I was thinking that it is Vrajavasis. It is, they have such a burning desire to see Krishna all the time.
Yes.
But yeah, but you are. It is true. Yeah, it never occurs to me. Yeah, that I could actually be in Krishna company.
Yeah, just imagine Krishna. You would be, standing outside, looking in, and then suddenly you see Krishna looking at you and winking and sort of indicating, come on, join, you can also come. That would be nice. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Dear Lalita. We don't hear you. Now
you can hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Thank you very much. I was translating, so I get confused with these channels.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, happy Govardhana Puja, everyone.
Hare
My favorite part is when in this lila is when Krishna, as a little child, is trying to convince his dad that Indra is not the person that he needs to be worshipping, but he needs to worship Govardhan, and the way that he goes about it. I've also heard this morning from Kartik Chandra Prabhu, who was quoting, I think, was it 24th chapter of 10th canto,
Yeah.
when he was saying that Krishna was first saying to his dad, look, actually, where is Indra? Is he showing himself here? No, he isn't. So therefore, you should glorify this. And who's doing all the work? Like on the field? Who's putting the grains in the in the ground? Who's says it's you? So you should glorify. So he's going first, explaining to his dad. First is that you need to glorify your own work, and he's denying Indra's help. And he said that Indra, anyway, rain will come, right, without you glorifying him. And how he's gradually going to come to the point where he's saying, but who is giving all this food to your cows? It's Govardhan. There are different levels of. I've forgotten the terminology now. I'm feeling a little bit tired. He's explaining first. Was he explaining first like a karma yoga? It just you don't worship Indra or God of heaven. You just worship your own work.
Work is worship.
Yes, work is worship. Yeah. So and then he gradually goes to the point where he's saying that Indra, he said Indra is doing that because you're doing your duty. So when you're doing your duty, Indra has to send the rain. And your duty is to take care of cows, to take care of food for yourself and for the cows. And when you're doing your duty, Indra will automatically have to fulfill that. Until they get to, and then he explains to him what you need to offer to Govardhan, and then he at least he likes to eat actually. And in Kartik Chandra Prabhu also mentioned in Jiva Goswami Sandarbha that he actually explained what is the first thing that needs to be offered the Govardhan, and what's the second, what's the third, and then after that they need to go around the Govardhan to show respect to Govardhan, and then Govardhan appeared. Actually, Krishna appeared, and he said that you see, did Indra ever appeared when when you were doing these sacrifices? No, he never appeared. But you see, Krishna appeared, so he's the one that you need to worship, and then pay obeisance to brahmanas and feed everyone around them, and then feed the cows at the end.
Yeah,
So,
let's go ahead.
That part when Krishna is as a small child, first fights to be there when the sacrifice is going on, and then Nandamara said, okay, you sit over here now, and then you can see what we are doing. And he said, you see, the rain comes from above, otherwise we won't have any grains, and the cows couldn't eat anything also. And then therefore we have to worship Indra. It's just like, for me, it's amusing, like Krishna, a small child, convinced his father.
He's a bit of a troublemaker, isn't he, Krishna? I mean, they're just doing what they always do, and there's no harm in what they're doing, right? But then Krishna comes along and gives all these subversive ideas. Yeah, he says what you mentioned. He says, Tasmat sampujayit karma sabhavasta svakarma krit anjasa yena vartata tat eva asya hi daivatam. Therefore, one should seriously worship work itself. A person should remain in the position corresponding to his nature and should perform his own duty. Svakarma krit. Indeed, that by which we may live nicely is really our worshipable deity. Tat eva asya hi daivatam. Work is worship. Yeah, Krishna is a troublemaker. If one thing is actually sustaining our life, but we take shelter of something else, how can we achieve any real benefit? That's the next verse. We would be like an unfaithful woman who can never achieve any actual benefit by consorting with her paramour. Now, think of a 7-year-old boy talking about a consort with her paramour. So, okay, good, thank you. Let's see what there's anyone else who wants to share a favorite moment. And maybe I should embarrass you all by calling on you. Let's see, and do we have any, well, let's ask who here has been to Govardhana. Rajamohini, Anandamayi, Dira Lalita, Mala, and Divyadarshini was there, and some of you have not been there. Anisa, were you there?
Yes, Maharaj. I was there in January.
Uh-huh. Good. So, yes, Nandi Mukhi's been there. Anissa, do you want to share some memory you have of being at Govardhana?
Yes, I can share. Um, First of all, Hare Krishna Maharaj, it's really
Hare
beautiful to
Krishna.
see you and everyone. What I loved about Govardhan is my mentor had shared with us just the mood of the Vrajavasis taking shelter of Govardhan when they're in fear. And I really love that symbol of, to deal with the pride and the anger of Indra. The Vrajavasis take shelter of Govardhan, and I really enjoyed the unexpectedness of Govardhan as the supreme provider of like abundance. Yeah, there is an unexpectedness to worshipping Govardhan and realizing him as the provider of all. And when we did Govardhan Parakram, that was very, very profound for me. I think it was I felt a very deep connection after that to Govardhan and how he has provided so much in my life. And I also really enjoy Govardhan as a symbol of tolerance.
Tolerance.
Yeah. He tolerated the torrents of Indra's reign.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't complain, does he?
No, not at all. He doesn't.
We find so much to complain about, but Govardhan doesn't complain. Hantaya Madhirabala Haridasa Varya Yat Rama Krishna Charanas Parasha Pramodha Manang Tanoti Sahago Ganayos Tayor Yat Paniya Suya Vasakantara Kandamulai. This nice verse, the gopis are singing, appreciating Govardhan as Haridasa Varya, the best of servants of Krishna. Good. Would you like to go to Govardhan again?
It would be a dream. I would love to come to Govardhan again, though I feel like Govardhan gave me some instructions that I feel like I wouldn't be able to face him if I didn't fulfill them first.
Oh, okay. We won't go into what those instructions were for now. Okay. Who else was at Govardhan? Manibanda, you've been at Govardhan.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. I was there so many years ago, 23 years ago.
33 years ago?
23.
23.
2001.
Oh, my. Okay. Anything you can share about your experience?
It was overwhelming for me being there because, Krishna was there actually. I was thinking also in the way that the Vrijavasis, when Krishna left the hill, they were trying to help him. And that was no lack of faith in him. It was deep love for him. So they were trying to help him. In some way, we think, I love Krishna because Krishna gave me this or give me that. But they were not thinking like that. They were thinking, I love Krishna, so I want to help him. It was the otherwise.
Very nice. Nice point. Yes, it wasn't lack of faith that, oh, he's not able to hold it up. It was, we want to help. Yeah, that's
Yes.
nice. Thank you. So would you like to go there again?
Oh, it will be my dream, of course.
It's a long ways away from Mendoza.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Who else?
Maharaj.
Jay? Who else wants, anyone wants to tell about your Govardhana experience? Everyone's being very shy and quiet. Okay. Oh, Nandi Mukhi, yes.
Hi Krishna, everyone.
Hi.
Eric and everyone, wish you happy Govardhan. Yes, it was wonderful to be there, and with mercy of Guru Maharaj arranged was really nice. Govardhan retreat there and this wonderful place, and we had also was wonderful to be there, and the Govardhan where we stayed. I remember that in the middle of the place there's big Shila of Giriraj, and the whole parikrama, and really, I mean, it was like yesterday when I remember and think on this, and would really love to go there again. And we are here Simachalam celebrating Diwali and Govardhan festival. We this time make a big celebration. And so far we have, I was mentioning that we could perform Govardhan pastime too, and engage some Indians, and the children take part. Quite big number responded, and tomorrow so we will make short drama on Govardhan, and so the Lila, the pastime with Nanda Baba, where Krishna will be kind of preaching, saying to Nanda Baba, why you for celebrating this, and why not Govardhan, and I have a group of kids who will take part, and we make them also dress, and yeah, until we'll make it like a small sketch, and then come Indra and get small little pistol. I'm thinking, okay, making people wet, like it's rain, and
Okay.
and then
Surprise.
so we surprise them. And like Giridhari, we want to make like children standing around like in a circle and all together, want to lift up, like you mentioned, big umbrella style, and then call the rest to come under and take shelter of Govardhan. And so like that, I just wanted to share.
Very nice. Well, now you've let out your secret. I hope nobody at Singhachalam spreads the word. Should be a surprise.
Yes, and today we have made like a bazaar of prasad. Like in India, the Indians, they miss this special traditional savories, and so we made like a big table of, and want to distribute this prasad today.
Very good.
And tomorrow, of course, Ankut and celebration.
Do do they create a hill of halava or something
Yes.
like that? Oh,
Yes, yes. This we will do tomorrow. Huge halwa hill, and then they write with śyāma and the cows, and yeah, I want to do that tomorrow.
I'm always making trouble about the halava hill because of what I've seen in Vrindavan. They don't make hill of halava or whatever. They make a murti of Giriraj on the floor out of cow dung. Because if you make a hill out of halava, which is Govardhana, then everyone worships and circumambulates, and then they eat Govardhana, eating Govardhana. I don't know. We don't even walk on Govardhana.
Yes.
What to speak of eating Govardhana? But somehow it's become an ISKCON tradition. But in Vrindavan, they don't do that. In the Goswami temples, they make a murti, kind of like Giriraj, like this, sort of lying down on the temple floor. And they decorate him, and they'll put a Govardhan Shila on his stomach, and they'll worship the Govardhan Shila, and they'll bathe Govardhan, and they'll circumambulate, have kirtan. And the annakuta, the offering of bhoga, they just make in big baskets of, deep fried things and so on. And then they spread it all out before the altar. They fill up the whole, Jagamohan area. But you don't see them eating the hill. But anyway, I gave up.
Good point. I'll bring this out tomorrow.
Well, it's kind of too late now.
Out tomorrow, Guru Ma, because yes, it's true, and somewhere it's not done yet. So, it will be tomorrow. So, and we could bring this in the temple room, and then have a Govardhan Shila on top, like you mentioned, and then do the circumambulate. And I mentioned that.
I'm just mentioning, but I don't want to be a troublemaker. I don't want to be a troublemaker like Krishna.
I was just mentioned it, and I think it does. It's a point to be concerned, to be take it serious. Thank you.
Okay, good. So Giriraj Maharaj ki jai ho. Shall we read a bit of Chaitanya-charitamrita while we're here? Why not? Let me go here and share and okay, that is not Chaitanya-charitamrita. I have to change this. Here we go. Yeah, we've been really going slowly through this. And we did have lots of illuminating points from Gopinathacharya Prabhu about this whole culture surrounding the scene of poets. That was another thing he said I was appreciating, is how much competition there is amongst the poets. They all want to get their recognition, and it's all very mundane. And so here Mahaprabhu is sort of putting one of these mundane poets in his place. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktarinda. Sri Chaitanya-charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 16, verse 92. I think we already read this. Alankara nahi para, nahi shastra bas, kamone eshava artha korile prakash. I'm surprised. So this is the poet scholar is speaking. I am surprised. You are not a literary student and do not have long experience in studying the Shastra. How have you been able to explain all these critical points? Ihashuni Mahaprabhu ati bararangi tahara hridoy jani kohe koribangi. Hearing this and understanding the Pandit's heart, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied in a humorous way. Bararangi. So we saw in the Narottama Das song, what was it? Rańgin, kore rańgin rādhā vijurī sañcāra. Rańgin, one who enjoys, perhaps. So Bora means much. Taha hridoy jani, he could understand the heart of him. Kahe kori bangi, he made an indication. Yeah, okay. Shastrer bichar bhalo manda nahi jani, Saraswati je balai she balivani. My dear sir, I do not know what is good composition, what is bad. But whatever I've spoken must be understood to have been spoken by Mother Saraswati. So he's giving now, Mahaprabhu is giving all credit to Saraswati Devi. And Saraswati is the goddess of learning. And she is also the Ishta Devata of Keshava Kashmiri, as we generally refer to him. So Mahaprabhu's taking the humble position. Bhalo manda nahi jani. I don't know what is good and what is bad. Whatever I've said, yeah, that's Saraswati. Ihashuni dikvijayi korila nischoy. Shishudare devi more koila parajai. When he heard this judgment, Ihashuni, Shunya, the Digvijayi, he's generally referred to as Digvijayi, as the conqueror of the directions. Korila Nischoy, he wondered, Shishudware Devi More Koila Parajoy. Why does Mother Saraswati want to defeat me through this small boy? Parajaya. Para is the other, and Jaya is victory over the other. Aji, we had this word also. So Aji can just mean today. We had in the Narottama Das song, we had Aji Rase Badar Niche, and it was translated soon, all the residents. But it can also mean today. I shall offer prayers and meditation to the goddess of learning. The champion concluded, and ask her why she has insulted me so greatly through this boy. Aitare nivedibo. I will offer prayers. Korya, making this, performing this. Japa dhyan, chanting and meditating. Now this, just a sort of technical point, but japa dhyan as a compound, as a Sanskrit compound, could be taken in two different ways. Well, it could be taken more ways, but generally. So it can be either japa and dhyana, or it can be the dhyana, the meditation. What sort of meditation? Japa dhyana. What sort of meditation? Japa meditation. So it could be either one. In the translation it says, I'll offer prayers and meditation. Shishu dware, through the door, literally. But in Bengali, dware means by means of or through. It's it's a instrumental indicator, I guess, call it. Shishu dware koila more eta upamana, this insult. So mana means honor, to honor someone. And uppa is a prefix to take away, to remove. So trinada pisunichena dorori vasahishana amanina manadena. So manadena is by giving, the da becomes dena, by means of giving, manadena, by giving honor. Kirtaniya sadhā hari. So here it's the opposite of that, upamana. How is it? Why is it? So he's upset because he's been embarrassed and he's not accustomed to that. He's usually winning all of these arguments. And now he's been defeated, not by some big pundit, he's been defeated by a shishu. And what is a shishu? A shishu is actually, shishu is a baby, not even a boy. Yeah, maybe we should look this up. Shishu. Okay, shishu can mean a child, an infant, the young of any animal. Oh, a boy under 8 years of age. No, okay, a lad under 16, or a pupil or a scholar. So that's okay. He's not just saying baby. Okay. Yeah. So it can be a lad, a young, it could be a young boy, 15-year-old boy. Then, Vastuta Saraswati Ashudha Shloka Korahila Vichar Samay Dhāra Buddhi Achadila. Saraswati had, in fact, induced the champion. Okay, so now we're getting, you could say, commentary from Krishnadas Kaviraj. Saraswati had in fact induced the champion to compose his verse in an impure way. Ashuddha shloka karaila. So this karaila is a causative form. He caused to do. He caused him to make a shloka which was ashuddha. Furthermore, when it was discussed, she covered his intelligence, and thus the Lord's intelligence was triumphant. So vichar samay. Samay means time, and vichar is the reflection. So the time of reflection or discussion. Tara buddhi, his buddhi, his intelligence, acharila, was covered, or she covered it. And then Prabhupada adds, and thus the Lord's intelligence was triumphant. That's kind of making a little purport within the verse. Ta beshisya gana shaba hasite lagila ta shaba nishedhi prabhu kavire kahila. When the poetic champion was thus defeated, all the Lord's disciples sitting there began to laugh loudly. Hasite. Hasite lagila. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked them not to do so. Ta shaba nishedhi. He forbade. Nishedhiya. That apostrophe is there. He forbade them from doing that. Prabhu Kabire Kahila. He addressed the poet as follows. What does he say? Tumi Bara Pandit Maha Kavishiromani Jaramuke Bahirai Aiche Kavyapani. You are the most learned scholar and the topmost of all great poets, Maha Kavishiromani. For otherwise, how could such fine poetry come from your mouth? Jara muke, from whose mouth? Bahirai, aiche kamyamani, this sound, this poetic sound. Such poetic sound. Bahirai, it comes out, it emanates. So now he's really complimenting. Tomar kavita jena ganga jaladhar. Toma shama kavi kota nahidakiar. Your poetic skill is like the constant flow of the waters of the Ganga. I find no one in the world who can compare with you. Okay, again, very Sanskritic. This word kavitva is the nominal abstract from kavi. So poeticness, poetic ingenuity. Your poeticness, Jeno Ganga Jaladhar, it's like the flow of the Ganga, Ganges water. Toma sam kavi kota nahi, nahi daki ar. Sama equal to you, O kavi, are you who are a kavi. Kota, this kota, in modern Bengali, kotai is the question word where. Where is there a kavi like you? Nahi deki ar, I don't see any other. So like that. Oh, he mentions some things here. Bhavabhuti Jayadeva Ara Kalidas Ta Shobar Kavite Ache Dosher Prakash. Even in the poetic compositions of such great poets as Bhavabhuti, Jayadeva, and Kalidas, there are many examples of faults. So he wants to reassure him, no, you're not alone, even these great poets. And amongst these poets, Kalidas is probably the most famous in India and beyond India for his dramas, his poetic dramas, of which his, what is the first word of it? Abhi something, Shakuntala, the rediscovery of Shakuntala, is the story of Shakuntala, which is briefly mentioned in the Mahabharata, but then Kalidas elaborates the story. Bhavabhuti, Jayadeva, of course, is also they're both, I guess, famous. Jayadeva we celebrate for his Gita Govinda. So that's nice. Okay, we're coming. Oh, here we have a part. Oh, this is an interesting purport. Doshaguna vichar alpa karimani kavita karane shakti taha shevakani. Such mistakes should be considered negligible. One should see only how such poets have displayed their poetic power. This point was also made by Gopinathacharya Prabhu last time, that alankara, the ornamentation in poetry, takes second place to rasa. Rasa is the real point. And of course, in particular, in devotional poetry, this is what matters. So Prabhupada quotes this very famous verse from chapter 5, first canto, Tat bhag visargo janataga viplavo yasmin pratishlokam abadhavati api namani anantasya yashon kitanyat shrinvanti gayanti rinanti sadhava. And Prabhupada's translation of that: in explaining the glories of the Lord, inexperienced men may compose poetry with many faults. But because it contains glorification of the Lord, great personalities read it, hear it, and chant it. That, for me, is a kind of reassurance that even the likes of us can write our reflections on third canto. See, I managed to get in a plug for our project. So, yes. Oh, it's already that time. Let's see, we have, before we go, I think we have a couple of birthdays today. Anandamayi is today. And Chitra Vilasini. Is it your birthday today?
Right, it was yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay, that's close enough. So happy birthday to you both. As happy as birthdays can be as we get older. Yeah, and I might mention maybe you've already seen, some of you, that we've put up this promotional GoFundMe campaign page to raise funds for this open access. And, oh, I think Manibanda, you donated something. Thank you. But I'm not asking you, I don't like to ask, disciples. But what I want to ask is if you think of anyone else, if you know anyone who you think might be inspired to give something for this very good cause, you can call their attention, maybe share the link with them. And in this way, like we did for the cow care book, we can have the funding so that the book will be published anyway. It's not that we need Lakshmi in order to publish the book. We already have a contract with the publisher. But what we're hoping to do is have this open access contract, which makes it available for everyone, anyone to download. And it also reduces the price of the hardbound book by about 60%, so that makes it more accessible. And yes, the book, I'm writing the book. The book is coming along, and I've basically written the substance of it. I'm working now on the introduction. It's kind of the last thing one does, is write an introduction. Introduction, conclusion. So Krishna willing, we'll have this available within, let's see, we're beginning of November. Yeah, submission date is a little less than 3 months from now. So that should be doable. Right, wishing you all a wonderful continuation of Kartik and a wonderful Govardhana Puja and a wonderful week. And keep sane and keep safe. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy. Do japa dhyana very nicely. And we will see you all very soon again. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Goti Vaishnavarinda ki jai, Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Bye.
Or bringing
Hare
in
Krishna. Happy Govardhana Day.
Krishna